so many of you have been asking me to make a personal video on exactly how I climbed out of anxiety when I had hit rock bottom. Today, I'm going to go deep and clarify exactly what I did and what concept I used in order to break free from anxiety for good. Let's dive in. Welcome to another important video on my channel, my friends. If you haven't subscribed and hit the bell for all the notifications for my videos, please do that. And if you want to learn more about any of my anxiety recovery programs, click here at any point in the video. As we dive deep into a bit of a guide today, it's not going to be like a regular video where I'm giving you some kind of a technique or a mindset or a strategy. I'm going to share with you how I came in contact with the middle way, which is in fact the title for my upcoming book. So very, very exciting here. Now, as I share with you how I tapped into the middle way, I would like you to come at this video from an open perspective, a place where you're not viewing it and trying to understand the video from a mental perspective, but I want you to kind of feel what it is I am looking to share with you, okay? Now, I want to give you a deep understanding of what the middle way is, okay? The middle way doesn't identify with anything. It's actually a state of being, no matter what's taking place inside. The best way that I can describe the middle way is complete presence, no matter what's going on in your inner world. And the way I came across the middle way is through openness and dissatisfaction. There came a time in my anxiety recovery where I was plateauing, and I realized that if I was going to in fact heal and regulate my nervous system, if I was in fact going to eliminate my anxiety disorder, if I was going to take care of my chronic fatigue, I needed to start being open, more open to parts of me that I had neglected. Coming back to your true self, even in the face of inner or outer challenges, okay? I came to a point in my journey where I was so dissatisfied with how I was feeling. I was so dissatisfied with waking up in the morning, checking symptoms, questioning my physical health, seeing if symptoms were getting better or worse, or people pleasing, bringing forth a perfectionist kind of approach to everything, pushing, or pulling. You know, I was tired of that kind of franticness and that kind of forcefulness, which brought me to the middle way. Now, I want to share with you the different stages of the middle way, and depending on what stage you're in right now in your life, I have an answer to that in regards to how to follow the middle way, okay? So we know that the middle way is a presence, and it doesn't have to be spiritual or religious. It's simply a presence, and this presence no longer is guided by extremes. I want you to understand this. The middle way is not extremes. The middle way can seem very boring at the beginning. The middle way can seem very soft, not loud, very subtle. So it is in the moment that things are happening around you or inside of you, there's a calm presence. Okay, that's what the middle way is to some degree. Now, you may be in the frantic stage of your healing. We're talking about the beginning stages. Oh, what do I do? Is this a serious illness? How am I going to function in public? What's the best habit, technique that I need for myself, the frantic stage. Now, if you're in the frantic stage, it's enough to simply consider presence over reactiveness. Okay, I need you to understand this. We're going deep today. This is the path to your healing. So if you're in the frantic stage, again, it's enough right now for you to do nothing, but to simply consider presence over reactiveness. You don't have to implement it, just consider it, okay? Because what tends to happen is when we consider something, when we consider it, what happens is we tend to create an intention of wanting to understand more about it, okay? So if you're in the frantic stage, presence over reactiveness. What is that? What does it feel like? When in my life have I experienced presence? Now, I also want to touch on this. A lot of anxiety sufferers, when it comes to the evenings, they're very tired, exhausted of fighting with their life experiences and fighting with their thoughts, symptoms, and emotions. They're tired of fighting. So when they get to the evening, a lot of the times they give up, not on themselves, but they give up on fighting, right? Now, that experience in the evening, if this sounds like you, that is the middle way. Notice that when you're going through the evening, you have completely stopped trying to heal. You have stopped trying to will yourself to be better and feel better. You have stopped trying to will yourself in the direction of inner peace, right? I want you to understand this deeply. This is huge. So when you're in that moment, I want you to go, that's the middle way. That's the kind of presence in the face of challenges that I'm looking for when I'm moving forward, okay? So after the frantic stage, there's the opening stage, right? You're starting to become a little bit more open to things that you weren't aware of before. So you begin to see presence or being centered more often in what you do. Okay, so if you're more in the opening stage, it's important for you to kind of stop yourself throughout the day and go, hey, is this what it feels like? This feels a little bit different, right? And as I mentioned, it's going to feel different because it's no longer the personality that is looking to perform in all areas of your life. You are stopping the performance, okay? The performance of trying to meditate, right? The performance of doing breath work, the performance of, what sort of mask you put on when you're going out in public to see other people. It's all a performance. In the opening stage, what starts to happen is you start to go, wow, that was different, right? I felt a lot more centered. And again, centered doesn't have to be some kind of religious text connotation or spiritual thing. None of that. Let's leave all of that behind us and focus on the feeling and the experience of walking the middle way. I hope you're getting a better idea of this at this point. After the opening stage, you're moving towards more so the limbo stage, right? Because you're kind of back and forth, okay? You're back and forth between, in the future book, what I call the protector, a protector who's trying to be overprotective over all its belief systems, right? So you're in the limbo between the protector and your true voice. And you begin committing to presence in as many life experiences as you can. Once you have the experience of the middle way, what tends to happen is at the limbo stage, you start to go, okay, this is the kind of approach and experience I need to have no matter what's going on in my life. And it doesn't mean that I am numb or dull. It just means that I am less reactive to stimuli, less reactive to my feelings, my symptoms, my thoughts. Because you now know that your feelings, your symptoms, your thoughts are all coming from the protector, right? Trying to overprotect. And certain patterns in your life that you have begun to master based around fear. So there you are, you're going through the day, right? And you're in the limbo stage, and you're starting to feel a bit more dizzy, okay? In that very moment of being dizzy, instead of following the protector and going on Google, distracting through your phone, or, running some other, habit or pattern that you normally do, in that very moment, you commit to presence, you commit to the middle way. And you feel like it feels like a bit like eating vanilla ice cream, like it's kind of bland, right? So there's the dizziness. It's an experience, and I can experience this experience of dizziness, right? For example, so you give it a little bit of your attention for a few moments, you recognize that it's there, you slowly move forward with it, whether you're at the shopping mall or you're driving, so you're moving with it. But at no point are you going back to that old frantic response to it and going into your head, overthinking what it could mean, right? Trying to put puzzle pieces together. Okay, instead, you are in the presence of that symptom. You are in the presence of the feeling. You are in the presence of the thought without adding to it. That is the middle way. And of course, in the book, I'm going to go so much deeper into this so that you can get a good understanding of how to truly regulate your nervous system and bring safety back to your mind and body, right? After this limbo stage, you move to the transition stage, which is you live your life through presence, no longer the victim of extremes. Now, I want you to notice in your life right now how often you revert to extremes. An extreme thought, oh, my past, that experience was absolutely horrific, this sort of thing, or future experience, the worst could happen, or present, certain symptom or thought, taking you to extremes in emotions, this sort of thing. How often do you live in extremes? But not only that kind of extreme, it's also the stimulating kind of extreme where you go, I have to have a coffee every morning. No, you don't, right? No, you don't. That's just the protector, okay? Or, oh, I can't wait till my favorite football team plays tonight at 8 p.m. That's another extreme, right? So another one is video games. Another one is watching movies. Another one is your favorite TV show on Netflix. These things are okay, but if you're relying on them to give you a sense of living, then they're not okay. So in the transition stage, this is kind of later on in the journey, you stop living through extremes, right? You are no longer the victim of extremes. Your life seems to have some kind of a flow, and you are living your life way beyond the capacity of your nervous system. Because for so long you've pushed, pulled, you wanted, you fought for, you strived for, this sort of thing. And you tried to make every life experience go exactly how you wanted it to go. You tried to control other people. You tried to control this, control that, your symptoms, your feelings, your thoughts. And now you're slowly letting those go. Walking the middle way is no longer walking as a victim of extremes. Walking the middle way means that you are in the presence of this need to have an extreme, but you don't follow through, right? And this becomes a lifestyle. I want you to understand this. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, good for you, my friends, because you are truly committed, and let's keep going because as I mentioned, I want this to be a bit of a guide for you, okay? It's not one of those videos where I just give you something and let you go. No. Good for you for sticking around. Now let's continue. Do you now have a better understanding of what the middle way is? Even if you don't perfectly understand it, that's fine. As long as you have a decent idea of the experience of being in the presence of your challenges, that's the middle way. The voice of the middle way, let's get to know it. The voice of the middle way is soft and it's not loud. Okay, what that means is when you hear a loud voice, that's the protector. When you hear a soft, subtle voice, that's the middle way. Okay, notice the difference there. Because one has been so loud and getting louder as time goes on, at the moment you may not even recognize that softer voice, that intuitive guidance, okay? But for you to simply consider that there is another voice for you at this stage could be enough. The middle way doesn't push, it allows. Okay, you need to understand this. It allows. I got the dizziness, I allow it to be there, right? I'm fatigued today, I allow it to be there. Okay, I have some stomach pain, I allow it to be there. I have an experience where someone is trying to create conflict with me, I allow it to be there, right? These are the kinds of responses, no longer reactions, but responses that help you to continue to walk the middle way. No more pushing, no more looking for immediate answers, right? The middle way doesn't come with techniques. There is no technique related to the middle way. Yes, you can do my surrender sessions to make that softer voice a little bit louder. You can do those surrender sessions on a regular basis, and if you are, good for you. The middle way is based on awareness and taking the path less traveled, okay? For a long time you thought that you were anxiety. I've got a mental health issue. I'm in emotional turmoil, right? So these are things that you have began to identify with, but now there is an awareness around taking the path less traveled. Maybe I can give more attention to the fact that I don't have to identify with anything, but I can still be in the presence of everything. Woo! There it is. So that's important. The middle way doesn't involve mental configurations. It focuses on moving through challenges through your center. Through your center. Through your center. Not being dragged here or there. Through your center. And your center is a very soft, quiet, and allowing place, right? The mental configurations, when you find yourself reverting back to trying to solve anxiety from a mental perspective, you're just going to drain yourself and continue to overthink. That's just going to make anxiety stronger. That's going to give the protector more fuel to keep anxiety going. So we don't want to heal from a mental perspective, we want to heal from a feeling perspective. I allow myself to feel the reaction to this life experience, however, I don't have to add to it anymore. That's the middle way. And the middle way isn't a strategy. It's a way of life that aligns with trust rather than fear. Trust. So you're going to find that as you follow the middle way, and I'm going to build on this in the future, we're going to have lives, and of course I'm writing a book around it, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of this, okay? It aligns with trust. You start to go, I can trust that I can leave this alone. I can trust that nothing bad is going to happen from this. I can trust that I can let go of this thing that I've been holding on to. And does that mean that you're going to let go of it right away? No. Does that mean you're going to have a full heart trusting completely in it right away? No, that's not the case. And that's not the point. The reason so many people fall off the healing path is because it's slow. And because it's slow, the protector jumps in and goes, if this doesn't work quickly, then it doesn't work for you. Does that sound like you? Next thing you know, next audiobook, right? Next YouTube video. Oh, the answer must be over there. I need this, I need that. What's the best supplement, right? Again, this is all coming from the protector side of things, not the middle way. There is no strategy. It's a way of life that begins to align, key word, alignment, align with trust rather than fear. So if you start to feel a bit more uncomfortable, vulnerable, like even naked, I'm showing my true colors, my true self to the world, good. Also, when you're walking the middle way, what tends to happen is you start to get either more quiet or more loud, right? As you're going through your life experiences. And either is okay, as long as you are true to your true self, okay? So that is worth kind of sharing with you as well. Now, here's what I want. I would like you to comment below. If you made it all the way to this end of this video, I know that you are going to become more than anxiety very soon. Well done. I want you to comment below and let me know, without trying to mentally configure the answer, let me know what you believe the middle way is, okay? Or how you are starting to interpret the middle way. Okay, so just comment below and let me know so that I know that you have at least a little bit of an understanding of walking the middle way rather than walking in the direction of extremes. So please do that for me. Give this video a like and please share it with someone out there who's confused, bewildered, and really confused as to what it feels like to heal, to not just like go through a technique and feel like you're healing, but to truly experience true and lasting healing, okay? I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Have a wonderful day, and if you want to learn more about any of my programs, click here. Bye-bye, my friends.